Hi, here on YouTube. A warm welcome to all you new subscribers and to all of you who have been following me for a while. Not so long ago, I made a video on how I momigamied my painted papers. And it is papers I paint myself with acrylic paint, and then I do the momigami. And I will put a link below in the description box for you where I make these papers. But long before that, I have been doing momigami for a long time. I made this collage here, and if I come up here a little closer, you can see it is hand stitched and with different stitches, and then mounted on this stretched canvas. So my plan is to make a collage like this, so I can show you how I do it. By the way, my name is Lisbeth, and I'm an abstract Danish mixed media artist who also likes to do all kinds of things. Slow stitching, jelly printing, making books, altering books. Yeah, if you're into all these kinds of things, you have come to the right channel, and welcome if you have. But the plan is to make a collage like this piece here, and we will see how it would end. I have chosen to use this big piece of paper today, and I have chosen it because there are some different variations of the color. And then again, I have the stack I showed you before. I also can pick in, and it is about 45 by 35 centimeters, I think, but that doesn't matter. And you can see it's white on the back, and it is a plain drawing paper from a roll from IKEA. But this is the paper I will use, and then I have taken these. It is cotton, mercerized cotton, and the thickness is, yeah, it's a weaving yarn, but I used it for embroidery because I like to stitch with it. It is approximately like pearl cotton number. Oh yeah, not the numbers. I think it's number 8, but I'm not quite sure. But I can find out. But it doesn't matter. You can use any kinds of embroidery thread for this project. But I just like to use these. So let us begin. Since this piece is so big, and I will be doing the collage by many papers, you can see here like this, they are stitched together. I will just start ripping this piece up and see what kind of shapes I get, and the only thing I will think of is to try to have some parts where there is light and this sour yellow and this rusty colors. So yeah, let me see. And then I want perhaps this here. Like this. And it isn't hard to tear at all. It goes quite easy. The only thing I don't like is these white edges, but we can take care of them afterwards. But this is what I will do. Just ripping the pieces out here in different shapes. So I will do that and show them to you. Now I have torn the whole sheet up in all these kind of different shapes here, like this, and there are a lot of them. And then it's just start playing. I have absolutely no idea of the size it will end up with, or what shape it will end up with, but I will go for a square shape and about 20 to 30 centimeters. I don't know yet, but I sometimes it is perhaps a little easier if you start with something that has a corner, and then you could say this perhaps looks nice overlapping this here. And what else can we? You can go both under and over. That doesn't matter. Perhaps I like it better this way here. Let me see, this is 24 centimeters. Yeah, let us see if we can go for that. About 24 centimeters. And what can we come up with here? Perhaps I have another thing you can use as a corner here. Let me see. Yeah, that is about 24 centimeters also. There. Whoops, whoops. This one could also be there. This is an interesting shape. And these two are too much the same, I think. So perhaps this one is better, like this. Let us see. Yeah, now it is shrinked a little. Like that one there. The sour yellow I like. I am in frame. And then we need a piece down here. This could be the piece. Yeah, I can see it is a little longer than its wide, and or the width, and but something like this could work. Again, I would take a picture with my phone, and somebody told me in a comment I can do that, so I will see if it works. No, it doesn't. So yeah, I will just pause here. When I look at it now, I don't think there's any contrast, really contrast in it. And one way you can find out if that is enough contrast in your work is to take a picture with your phone and made it into a black and white picture. And then you can see at once if you have to change something. And I think I will remove this piece here. And I have torn these papers out here to see if I like that. And this really gives the piece a contrast. And in fact, I like it. I also had a piece here in white. And this is also giving the piece a contrast. And it could work. And then I have a darker version of this ochre color. And there is more contrast here. But I think I will go for the black one. Because I think it gives it a really some yoing. You can't keep your eyes from it with this. So this is the way I will do it. But I know some of you probably are screaming at the other end, no, don't do that, take the other one. And so, but I still have a lot of Momigami papers, and I can do so many more if I like. But this is the way I will take it today. So, before I start stitching, to help myself, I will glue the pieces together with a glue stick. It isn't the meaning that a glue should hold this, it is just for helping me while I'm working. So I will just, as careful as I can, go down here, oops, and again. I think it was something like this, and piece it down here. And then there was this piece here, and I think I will just go there and down there, and perhaps a little there. Like this here. And I ain't squeezing it flat because that would be a waste of the Momigami. And then I will take this one here. I'll go down there and there and there. And before I do anything, I will just take the measurement. Yeah, 24 centimeters, so that's fine. Like this. And then there was this piece here. And now I can't remember. I think this one was under. Something like this here. So here I will just glue that. About here, and then I will just measure again about 24 centimeters. Yeah, that fits. like there. And then there was this piece, and since I'm covering something of it up, it doesn't matter. I will take this here and glue this, and again I will take about 24 centimeters. Yeah, I think that's fine. Perhaps you could lay it on some plastic. So I'm working on some paper. And then there's this piece here. I think it was like that I had it. Yeah. And just some depths here and there to keep it down. And then I can also just give it a little there and there. And there. This is just for helping you when you start stitching. And there it is. And I would let it dry a little until it isn't so nice to stick your needle into wet glue. So it would only take a couple of minutes to dry. Since I have this big black thing there, I have toned a little more out because I think I like that. So there is a little more black. So I will also just give them a double glue. And you could have chosen to put them all kinds of places, but I think I like them here. Like this. And you can see I'm just dabbing it carefully. So now for the stitching, you will have to use, where is my needles? They are here. You will have to use a pointed needle for the first. And when I look at it, I think I will start to sew this black thing down here. And if I take this color, you can really see it in the black and not so much over here. So if I take this orange one, you could see it more both places. And that is for you to decide if you want it one or the other way. You can also choose to take a black thread, and then you won't be able to see it here in the black. But since there are really contrast in this piece here, I think, I really don't know. This one here also can work, and perhaps this is not so harsh as this one is. I think I will take this thread here and just thread my needle. And it is, I think they are called senile needles, these here. They have big eyes and are pointy. And now I'm really excited to see if this thread here is too thick. So if it is, I will take my normal mercerized cotton I use, but I'll come up here, and for now I will let it dangle there and no knot at all, and then I will just go down here and see. And of course you have to be a little more careful than if you were stitching in fabric, but it can take a lot, I think. And the only thing is here, just don't be so wild when you're doing it, because you can easily make holes where there isn't supposed to be holes. But this is just straight stitches, and I'm just see here, following the line of the black paper. Nothing else but that. But it isn't that exciting seeing me do all the stitching, so I think I will stitch all around the black lines here, and then I can show it to you. I have come all the way down here, and when I look at it, I think it will be too much if I do it all the way up. So I think I will just sew that down with some running stitches in black, so they are somehow invisible there. But I will just turn it over and weave my end up here and cut it. Oh, that is my wrong scissor, but and I will take this end also and just weave in here. So because this is sewn down this way, perhaps I will do the same here, but perhaps with some smaller stitches. I can just see if I can do that. I do that thing there, so they aren't so big. If you're insecure on stitching to your piece, take one of the leftover pieces and put two pieces together and try and practice on that before you go on to your nice designed collage. But like so many other things here in life, the only way to get better is to practice. And there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just paper and thread. So, but I will continue sewing around these two small black pieces there. So these two are sewed down. And now I have taken my thin normal mercerized cotton thread, and then I will just, if I can untangle my thread here, do some running stitches to base. It's just to base it down. It isn't. You can see them a little, but doesn't matter. I think you can go up and down in one way here, in one movement, without tearing the paper. Yeah, you can do that. At least I can do it. It is different to stitching than to stitching into fabric, but yeah, I don't think it is that difficult. But again, if I have put something into my head that I want to do, I will nearly break my arms not to fulfill my wishes. So, but I will do it until the other end of the black strip here, and anchor my thread at the back and be back. So I have sewed all the way down here with just running stitches, and you can't hardly see it, and that's quite fine. And then I had taken this yellow here and sewed these two overlappings and these overlappings there and overlapping there. And then I had taken the brown and just sewn that with straight stitches. And then I had taken my normal mercerized black cotton here again, and then I will go all the way around this funny shape here and end up here. And I have already started, as you can see. And I just found out I in fact can go up and down here in the same workway, so it doesn't take that long. So I go down here and come up here. And again, of course, you had to be a little careful, but it goes quite well, I think. So it is the overlapping piece I'm sewing down now, and I won't do so big stitches as these there. They are quite visible there. These here are also visible, but since they are black, I think I could make them a little smaller. But again, I will go all the way around that patch here and show it to you when I'm done. So nearly done with these orange stitches here, and I don't know if you can see it, but I will just finish it up here. But I sew with double thread, and that is because I have taken my normal mercerized cotton thread, because I think I can show it here. Oops, my needle. And this way here it is. I think this is quite a hysterical orange, so I have taken this one instead and just make my thread double. And you can see now everything is pieced together, and there's no loose ends or nothing here. So what's next? I think I will make a cluster of French knots here, and I think I will make them in this yellow, or perhaps also in this color here, a cluster of them here. But I will start with the yellow one here, if I can find my needle, and here it is. Many years ago, I was a member of our local amateur theater, and I wasn't playing, but I was making costumes, and I'm not specifically good at sewing, but it was a play who went on in the old days, so it was not so hard to sew the clothes for the players or the actors, but each night when the play was going on, one of us who had made the costume was being there if something broke or there was something we had to repair when they were playing. And one night, a small guy, he was 6 or 7 years old, he came with a pair of his own trousers and asked me if I could sew a button in his trousers because his mom's needle was gone away. So his mom apparently only had one needle, and I have always thought that was quite funny. So I sewed it on for him, so he was happy. So yeah, but French knots, you can do this even though it's paper. So you come up, and then you take your needle here. Perhaps I can go even closer here, perhaps, yeah. And you turn it around 1, 2, 3, 4 times, I think I will try here. And then you keep the tension with your thumb on the thread, and then you go down, not in the same hole, but nearly the same hole. And sometimes, if you have turned enough times around before you drag the thread through, you can go into the same hole because the knot is so big, so it wouldn't go in the hole. So yeah, it is sitting there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and down, and pull, and do it carefully. And then there's the next knot, and I can come up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep the tension with your thumb and go down again. And carefully drag the thread through. 1, 2, 3, 4. And keep the tension and go down nearly in the same hole. And drag the thread through. So yeah, you can see already 4 small knots. So I will make a bunch of them here and then look at it again and see if I want to do more. So done with all the French knots, and there are a cluster of them up here in black. And here I had taken the hysterical orange color and then the yellow ones there. And I think it looks quite nice, and I don't think it need any more. The only thing I'm not so keen on is these very straight edges there and there. So I will just see if I can tear a little of them off some places so it doesn't look that straight. Perhaps here also. But you really have to be careful because suddenly you have ruined the whole piece, and that isn't the meaning. But I think this looks better. And this is quite sturdy now. You can see I can do like this. But and just flatten it out here again. And I can also see there a little hole there, and I think there was another place where there was a hole, but I don't mind that. And if I want to mount it, the way I would do it, and then I will come a little up here. Perhaps see if I can be in frame there. I have this canvas. It is, I think it is 30 by 30 centimeters. And I would lay it on here and center it the best I can. I wouldn't take a cradle board for this because I won't put glue on the back side and glue it down, because then it would lie flat, and I think that is a pity, because I like the structure and the crumbling and all the things that had happened to this paper. So I would take, I have some, I can't find it right now, but I have some invisible thread. It is like a nylon thread, thin one. It is so thin it could go in your sewing machine. And then I will sew this piece down, because you can stick your needle through this canvas and just give it some places with the smallest stitch you can. You could also do it with, if you could find color thread, exactly black isn't so hard to find. And just give it a few places, because I think it is nice that this stands up a little here and this does that there. And I think it would lose its character if I squeezed it totally flat. And yeah, I don't think that would be nice. So this is the way I would mount it. Of course, now this here looks nice on the white thing here, the white color, but you can paint your stretch canvas before in any color you like. Perhaps you could paint it black, but then this will go up in. So if it has been, for instance, this stripe here instead, it could have looked nice on a black painted canvas. So again, there are 1,000 options. And also with the stitching, I have only used straight stitches, a running stitch and French knots. You could have used all kinds of other stitches, but of course there's a limit, because some stitches you can't do them on paper like you can do them on cloth, for instance. But you could have done chain stitches, feather stitches, and square stitches, and yeah, there are many stitches you could have done. But I prefer not to have 10 different stitches on one piece. I like to see it's the same thing you can recognize, and then again, but just a few of them. And I often like things 3 places. There is French knots, there's French knots, and there's French knots, and there's black, black, and black. And this yellow here is 1, 2, 3 times. The only place I didn't do that, there's 1 brown and 1 brown. And I could have done a brown there, that could also have worked, but now I took the orange instead. So I will take some close-ups here at the end of the video, and you can put your nose into it and really look at the stitching. And I really hope you have enjoyed this video and you have learned a little thing or two, or some tips and tricks, and you would like to try to make momigami papers and make collages and stitch them. So if you liked what you have seen so far, please give my video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. I would be very grateful for that. So take care, be creative, until next time. Bye bye.